brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Thank you for joining us. We have reached the halfway point in this syndicated broadcast today. I'm going to cover a host of very important news stories now. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're joined by Alex Newman of JBS.org, John Birch Society Magazine newspaper. Mumbai terrorist was U.S. agent. And, of course, that comes from the affidavit. Remember those terror attacks almost 2 years ago? Blamed on Pakistan. We told you at the time it was U.S., Israeli, and British intel. That even came out in Indian papers at the time. The head of counterterrorism in India was assassinated, was killed the day of these attacks. And he had been saying it was British, U.S., Israeli run. That's why that was originally there. Now, in fact, will you guys call Watson and have him send all the articles that Kurt and Watson wrote almost 2 years ago on that? Because I want to have all the names, and I can highlight it, the name of the counterterrorism head. Of course, they capped his butt good. He was there trying to stop it. But he couldn't go up against CIA, Mossad, MI6. I mean, you can't go up against their Muslim terror forces. I mean, they just continue to devastate everywhere. They attack the Russians. They attack 9/11. They attack everybody. Train bombings, everything. Sometimes they've got real Muslim nuts working for them. Usually it's just totally staged. All you can do is expose them. But we've got the affidavit. In fact, you printed me both copies. Or it printed in two pieces. Oh, here it is. Here's the first piece. No, this is the indictment of the militia patsies. I'll find it. So we're going to be covering all of this. Also, I've mentioned it, but I want to get into it briefly again and explain why this is happening into the next phase. Fox News trolls InfoWars comments, reports Alex Jones to authorities, writes 2 front-page articles on FoxNews.com yesterday saying that I am a terrorist, basically, and that we're calling for violence and that we're associated with commenters that are doing it. Well, Paul Watson, in about 5 minutes, found Fox News correspondents calling for Obama to be killed, found people all over their articles and comments calling for Obama to be killed, something we're saying we're against. And I've noticed Glenn Beck's been saying 9/11 truthers are going to try to kill the president. And I know he copies my show and twists everything we do. And I know that from inside Fox because we have freedom lovers everywhere. But now it's clear they're trying to set me up while they themselves push the violence. So this is really going to a whole nother level. With CNN doing investigations on me, supposedly creating some attack piece that was going to air Friday and then last night, with all these other big national publications attacking us 24/7. This is very, very, very serious what's going on. So we're going to be breaking all of that down as well. But the headline up at prisonplanet.com, perhaps Fox should check into its own website for violent comments. And Derek Einkoff, one of the sales guys, he went and looked on Fox site and found even more death threats and violence. And then he was on there today saying, look, you shouldn't call for violence. And they said, look, we'll kill you too. That's kind of like Mike Reagan could say, kill all 9/11 truthers, kill Mark Dice, I'll pay for the bullets, I'll meet you. There's a bounty on their head. The FBI said he's allowed to say kill people. He's allowed to say kill Mark Dice. We're getting together a bunch of screenshots to link up in the article. And Watson's changed the headline at my suggestion. Fox News calls for Obama to be killed while framing Alex Jones for instigating violence. And look, I'm not looking to fight with the controlled corporate press. When they write 2 big articles, put it in the terror section, and basically say I'm inciting terrorism, and then meanwhile they're the ones actually doing it, this is just too rich. This is just too much. It's absurdist. And we're going to expose it straight ahead. But first, the militias, then the frame up of all of the true conservatives and libertarians in this country. You want to know what's going to happen? We'll tell you. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
One major world crisis away from having a totalitarian type of system.
The main event is the wholesale destruction of the world economy.
The push for every nation on the globe to identify and number all of its citizens.
Friends, I hope that you will order Shadow Government from Infowars.com. We also have some specials where you can get some of our other films half price when you order Shadow Government. A new level in production quality and in information. It exposes how a cashless society, surveillance beast grid of total control is being put into place. This film needs to be seen. Everybody needs to get it. So order yours today. Show it to your friends, your family, your church, your neighbors, your boss, your employees. Shadow Government, ladies and gentlemen. Get your copy at Infowars.com today. Shadow Government. It gives Big Brother a black eye. Available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We're back live now, 8 minutes into the third hour. Have two guests coming up and continuing with your phone calls. Give me a document cam shot right here, please. Thank you. Here is the indictment of the Hatari militia in Michigan. Looks like there were only really 7 members of this, most of them family members. Their brother has been on CNN, who lives in San Antonio, Texas, just south of where I sit, saying, look, he made a board game about fighting different enemies. They did all sorts of different scenarios. And it's the same thing as when the military trains with the Boy Scouts to, quote, take on disgruntled veterans. New York Times, here's that article, Scouts trained to fight terrorists and more. First line, taking out a disgruntled Iraq war veteran. That'd be like saying the Boy Scouts should be charged, the Explorer Scouts, for trying to kill veterans. And I've seen this over and over again. This is how the feds have always been able to set people up. I've seen it over and over and over again in Texas, in Michigan, in Florida, in Alabama, in California, in Nevada, in Arizona, in Oregon, in Washington State. They have a handbook. They give their informants and agents. And they go in and say, we ought to do a drill in case the local police get taken over by the UN. We ought to go scout out the